Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for? I watch people get stuck in Frozen, and that breaks my heart. I was once stuck in Frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
Guest here today. I'll tell you, our first contestant is traveling in her I was gonna say Winnebago RV. Winnebago's old school, isn't it? Cammy Baker. She is an HGTV House Hunters veteran, top 5% realtor, and America's authority on secret real estate niche that is funding nonprofits by the billions. Cammy is no stranger to creative business development strategies and will share mind-blowing ideas on how to double profitability, making money, and making a difference. Welcome, Cammy Baker.
Thank you.
Hey, Cammy, thanks for being here today. How are you doing?
Fabulous, fierce, and on fire. Thanks for asking.
Fabulous, fierce, and on fire is what
Love
Cammy
it.
is up to. And what is your fun, fabulous, fierce, and on fire fun fact, Cammy, please?
Fun fact is I was adopted and born in Key West. And now that I have my RV, you can find me hula hooping on top of it anywhere in America as I travel down and visit the motherland of Key West.
That is absolutely extraordinary, Cammy. Congratulations on your truly amazing life. And thank you so much for being here today. By the way, what's up with the beautiful fun of hula hooping on top of it? Like, where does that originate from?
I just love to hula hoop. I feel like it's spinning my chakras and my aura and my energy and just gets it nice and swirly. And it keeps my waist thin, and getting on top of the RV is just a good way to grab attention because I like to be seen and be heard.
Well, you're going to be seen and heard today. We have chakras being enlivened and enlightened by hula hooping, Gina, and we have somebody to hang out with, Cammy. Who's that?
Absolutely. We have Carlos Thur. Carlos is a licensed CPA in New Jersey, northern New Jersey, up by you, Sean. He's practiced accounting for over 25 years, services clients in manufacturing, professional, real estate, wholesale. He's a member of the American Institute of CPAs in New Jersey, Society of CPAs, and he's dedicated to serving the community. He has also served as the assistant coach to baseball and softball programs in his town for over 8 years.
Awesome. Carlos, thanks so much for being here. And yeah, really appreciate it, brother. And what's your fun fact for today, Carlos?
Well, going on that, I was born in Havana, Cuba, migrated to the United States in '67, love baseball, love competitive softball. I'm in a 35 and over league, still playing at age 58. And that, I'm a big sports movie buff. So especially the sports movies that are based on true stories and human triumph.
Well, for a fun fact, how do you like the movie Miracle?
Love it. I actually have the VHS version. That's how long I bought it, and I've watched it 100 times. And my favorite character is Rocky Balboa. I just ran up the steps in Philly back in December, and it was great, very inspiring.
Carlos, amazing. So that's the jersey from the 1980 Miracle.
I see it.
It's not everybody. Other fun fact. Are you ready, Carlos? Last week, I was talking to Mike Eruzione, the captain of the team, about that entire dynamic, Herb Brooks, the whole thing.
Right.
And he was absolutely extraordinary. So I had the unique privilege to talk to the captain of what I perceive to be the greatest sports upset in the history of organized sports. And I would argue that had the most impactful athletic event of the 20th century, right there with Jesse Owens winning the gold medal in front of Adolf Hitler.
Absolutely. I would agree with you 100%. As a matter of fact, I think ESPN voted that the #1 sporting event in the century.
Is that right? Look at me. I'm hitting right now.
Yep.
Boom. Extraordinary.
Yep.
So I have a weird feeling we might see Mike Eruzione on a Monday night. What is Unblinded Real Raw coming soon? But everybody stay tuned on that. So, yeah, Carlos, thank you. And by the way, just as a complete curiosity, Do you know Dan Geltrude, an accountant in New Jersey?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, he appears
Many
on
of
Fox.
us around the area, but I do not.
Yeah, he appears on Fox a bunch. Good guy. I mean, definitely somebody cool to get to know. Final is, where do you coach baseball?
In my hometown with my kids.
Nice.
I felt that early on in their life, I just wanted to be just like in the movies I've seen, just a piece of inspiration.
Yeah.
Most importantly, never to give up, because life will knock you down. So you have to learn how to get up, dust off, and keep moving forward.
Absolutely, brother. And real quick question, Carlos, is what high school did you go to?
I went to Lyndhurst High School, small high school in Bergen County. Was
You're
on
a Golden
Western
Bear.
for 4 years.
You're a Golden Bear, are you not?
That's, you know it. Yep. The Lyndhurst Golden Bears. They just
Extraordinary.
celebrated their 100th year that couple of years back.
Sean,
back.
Carlos came through Henry Rinder.
That's
Henry
extraordinary.
Rinder.
Yeah, Carlos. So Carlos, final is, I am an Emerson Cavo from my growing up years. So Lyndhurst and Emerson were not in the same league, but would often play each other in like crossover games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So did you ever play against Emerson in baseball?
No, I didn't. I played baseball. I wrestled for 4 years in high school, but they were pretty good wrestling powerhouse back in what I call my Fred Flintstone era, back in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah, I wrestled for Stan Woods, who is still the wrestling coach there when you were wrestling against Emerson.
Yes, his name. Yes, yep. Because we used to meet up in the Christmas tournament. That's a caucus used to host.
Yeah.
And of course, once you get past the districts into the regionals, his name was well known and still is today.
Absolutely. I had the unique privilege not only of wrestling for him, he was our football coach our senior year. And with the game tied in the league championship game, we called the timeout. I went over to Coach Woods and said, I swear to God, Coach, I will catch this pass on a post corner on a 4th and goal from the 20 and win this game. The only time in high school I ever said anything like that. And we did. So Coach Woods, Coach Woods has been on Unblinded Huddles with us in the entire ecosystem. He's extraordinary, love him to death. Final is, what town do you coach baseball in now?
I play in a softball league in Livingston.
Oh, no, with your kids. What town do you live in now?
I'm in Woodland Park. It's
Nice.
10 minutes away from the office, so it makes it convenient to roll out of bed and run right into work.
Awesome. Well, listen, Carlos, love it. So thankful. Cammy is here. You're here. I should ask this. Do you ever hula hoop, Carlos, on top of your, RV or no?
Well, I'll say this, after a couple Mai Tais, yeah, probably.
Cammy, would you mind helping Carlos learn to like hula hoop?
I have to tell you, I can teach people how to hula hoop in about 10 minutes from one move that I learned from watching a YouTube video. So yes, I can teach anyone very
All right,
quickly.
Cammy, how's this? We do What is Unblinded, Why Raw. We have extraordinary people like yourselves that have been on. I would love, if you're into it, to come on and teach people in the Unblinded ecosystem to hula hoop in 10 minutes. That would be extraordinary. We have hundreds of people watching live.
Love it. Now they have to have a hula hoop.
Yes, we will have everybody ready with their hula hoops. So thank you, Cammy. Thank you, Carlos. Gina, we got 3 judges for these 5 folks. Who's up first?
We do. All right. Well, he is one of our clubhouse leaders this weekend, Mr. David Hammer. His combination of experience, professionalism, and access to a wide variety of products and services can help you meet your financial goals, estate strategies, and insurance needs. Whether your goals include preparing milestone life events like retirement or college, or whether you're simply looking for life, disability, income, or long-term insurance protection, he promises to offer a new level of attention, insight, and capability. David represents epic financial strategies, and his greatest joy is demystifying the world of finance. Welcome, David.
David, how are you, brother?
Excellent.
All right.
Oh,
Listen,
wait. Oh, you fun fact. Do you want me to tell him the fun fact that was at the NYC part?
No, let's hear it. Let's hear it from David. But first,
Yeah.
Your
first,
soul is
David.
thunder.
Yes. So first, David, I want to know: do you hula hoop?
I can hula hoop if pressed for it. Yes.
Yes. So we have to do that. Okay. So now, what's your fun fact, brother?
2 fun facts. First fun fact, on top of me is a poster from my first New York City Marathon that I did in 1995.
Nice.
Amazing.
And
That's
I've
the part I was going to say. He's a 3-time marathon finisher. So that was I think that was part of your bio.
Yes.
Incredible.
So this poster was sitting in my closet during the pandemic, and I got inspired to finally, after sitting in there for, I don't know, how long is it, 20, 30 years, of actually putting it and having inspiring me every time I'm doing my work. So that's a fun fact.
Awesome, David. Well, thank you so much for being here today and for what you're standing for in the world. And you ready for the Clubhouse Influence Challenge this weekend?
I can't wait.
Let's get it, brother.
I can't
Awesome.
wait.
Awesome. Gina,
That
we
is
got some other fine folks.
All right. We have Bob Sears. He went from hoeing weeds on a farm in Rehoboth, Massachusetts at 15 years old in a town less than 10,000 people to traveling around the world, speaking and training for companies like Success Resources. Bob is a COO for Business Nitrogen and helps clients find gaps in their sales, marketing, and close those gaps to accelerate business growth and scale their companies. Bob worked at Business Breakthroughs International, Tony Robbins and Chet Holmes Company, and was one of 7 trusted with teaching their unique strategies and systems. He is also an international speaker, consultant, and coach, and he has spoken all over the world on business optimization and sales strategies. One of his clients doubled their business in 24 hours from 1.2 million to 2.2 million with one simple strategy that he teaches, and he's a leading expert in sales strategies and handling objections.
Bob, what's up, man? Dropping the mic, brother. How are you?
Good, man. Haven't seen you since Necker Island.
Yes, it's been way too long, like way too long.
Way too long.
Yes, it's been, we have to stop meeting like that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So how are you feeling post Necker? There's a little bit of complexity that arose in that trip.
Listen, I was never sick. That was the biggest gap. I was sick on a Tuesday previous to going, and that was it. Had a fun time, got to befriend, Sir Richard Branson on the trip because of that, which is ironic.
Yeah.
It ended up, in every adversity, there's a seed of equivalent or greater value. So it ended up working out and really well.
So listen, can we have a collective for Bob, for me, for all of our friends, because we all got trapped and stuck for a little while on Necker Island, Sir Richard Branson's Island.
Oh, that's so rough.
If you're gonna have to quarantine, if you're gonna be locked down in quarantine, it might be a good place to be. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah. It was hard to explain to friends and family how they really weren't feeling any pain for me.
Sure. So, amazing, Bob. And can I ask you this? I didn't get to ask this. When did you work with Tony and Chet? What time?
It was probably 10 years ago. That's where David and I met originally. David Asarno and I met. We were one of the seven speakers who actually did a 2.5-hour webinar teaching entrepreneurs. Literally, we had millionaires, billionaires on there from company CEOs, really helping them learn the 12 strategies that Chet teaches to really grow their business.
Awesome. Well, listen, Bob, I really appreciate being here. And how about a fun fact, my friend?
Fun fact, other than I get to befriend Sir Richard Branson on Necker Island, was that I've actually been able to pull 5.5 Gs in an L39, which was pretty cool.
Whoa, brother. Bob is like Renaissance man extraordinaire, making things happen across the globe, getting trapped and hanging out with Sir Richard Branson because of COVID. Extraordinary life, brother. So thanks for being here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Gina, we got one more judge to go along with these amazing rock stars, David, Bob, and
Mr. Joseph Musso. He is 38 years old and is passionate about podcasting.
We lost you a little bit, Gina. You lost your sound.
No, it's. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No, it sounds like you turned into an Oompa Loompa of some sort.
Oh no. Okay. So, Joseph.
It's not, we can't hear you, Gina.
Can you go off camera?
Yep.
Much better.
Okay. Joseph Musso is a 38-year.
Skipping out on you. Oh, no, she
Oh,
froze.
she's
Uh-oh.
frozen.
Right. So here's what we're gonna do. Here, while Gina gets ready to come back and give Joseph his appropriate introduction, I know that Laurel I shared at the beginning of this, and we're gonna ask this question, then we'll go back and take a quick break and make the final introductions. is for Cammy and Carlos. Lorelai will be anybody you want her to be, which I think she explained. And the key is, right, it's very simple. Everything in the world happens after yes, right? Like for Bob, he becomes friends with Sir Richard Branson after he says yes to go to Necker Island and then says yes to agree to be in quarantine and not escape the island. So everything happens after yes. And so who would you like Lorelai to be? She could be anybody in the world, herself. She could be Sir Richard Branson or Oprah Winfrey, or she could be an ideal client avatar for you. The key issue is, what's a yes that you would be seeking? And Lorelai will be that person you're seeking it from. So Cammy, who would you like Lorelai to be?
She will be the owner and decision maker of a large real estate company. She is heart-centered and visionary, and she loves to give back to the community. And I have been introduced to her by someone else that I know. We have a mutual contact, and that's how we got put in contact.
Outstanding. So thank you for that, Cammy. And then Carlos, when you go, because we'll figure out who's going first in a moment, who would you like Lorelai to be?
Let's see. Lorelai can be a prospective client.
Okay. And how, what type of, like a business owner, or like, what would you like her to
She
do?
could be a real estate mogul, looking to be a prospective client.
Okay. You said a real estate mogul?
Yep.
Awesome. All right.
Got-
A lot of real estate dynamics coming up for you, Lorelai.
No, that's sweet.
Is Gina back?
I am back. Sorry,
All right.
guys. They're the
Okay,
wind. is-
Gina, let's go.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
Joseph.
Okay, let's go back to Joseph. Sorry, guys. Thank you. Okay, Joseph. He plays Dungeons and Dragons on a podcast called ALL 120 with voice acting and full sound immersion. He grew this podcast with zero knowledge of, oh my, all kinds of dynamics is happening around me. It's insane. Zero knowledge to over 45,000 downloads in less than 3 years. He grew his Instagram account from 0 to 27,000 followers and runs a 2,000 private group on Facebook, 2,000 people private group on Facebook, and has thousands and thousands of likes. So Joseph Musso, thank you so much. Welcome.
Yes, and Gina's dog is very happy to see you too, Joseph. So how are you?
Yes, she
I
is.
feel like the ultimate sabotage. Like no one can get,
You know what I'm feeling, Joseph? Gina, could you mute? Thank you. So what I'm feeling, Joseph, is there's a spell that was cast right before you're introduced. Do you feel that energy?
yeah, I do.
Awesome. So thanks so much for being here. And how about a fun fact, as if all of those facts, which are extraordinary, weren't fun enough?
A fun fact is I was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am actually a native, which means my mother was a cocktail waitress / stripper. And no, I'm kidding. She was just a regular person. And I was born and raised in that beautiful city. I grew up there almost my entire life and have experienced what it was like to be in showmanship. On top of that, I also learned how to hide playing Dungeons and Dragons from my family because at the time it was considered devil worship. So
No way.
Yes.
That is a super fun fact. Can I share one right back at you?
Sure.
My mom agreed and like kiboshed my Dungeons and Dragons playing when I was like 11 years old. So that is a true mutual fun fact. It was like not good, devil worship done. So Dungeons and Dragons were like out of the house. So That is a very, very funny dynamic mutually. But congratulations on powering through and all the fun you've created in it. And really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Was it that scary? Was it a dark game?
No, it's not dark at all, except for the fact that we had to play in what you consider the underground catacombs of Las Vegas. So no one knew that we were playing. That was the dark and scary part. The person
Gotcha.
coming and asking for money was more scary than actually playing the game.
Yes.
My grandmother threw out my Ouija board.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a
And-
few thrown out. Yeah.
And now as an adult, Lorelai makes all of her decisions, every single one on her Ouija board, because she can now make those decisions for herself. But let's hear about Lorelai, Gina.
Lorelai, let's go. Okay, Lorelai, our role player extraordinaire and the producer of this amazing show, Real Raw. What do you know? She is also the founder and designer of Bella Roche. Her jewelry designs have been worn by top celebrities in Hollywood that have been featured in Fashion Week in LA. She can also add TV celebrity status as she started 3 seasons of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Lorelai also leads a high-level mastermind, which includes the inner circle of Tony Robbins, thought leaders, and powerful speakers. But her life's mission is to guide others out of childhood trauma like she did. She shares her story on Steven Tyler's media platform. On a pending memoir is on its way, and her podcast titled Triumph Over Trauma. For her superpower is that she is the connector to the untouchable. Welcome, Lorelai.
Connector to the untouchables. How are you doing on this fun Friday?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yes, that is an extraordinary nickname that you have, Lorelai. I'm very impressed and proud of you.
Well, it's all thanks to you, Sean.
Well, I don't know about that. I think that you've been delivering like incredible things. And how about your fun fact, Lorelai? And we're seeking, because it is Fun Friday, all these fine folks would like to hear an unblinded Lorelai after dark fun fact, if that's possible.
Oh dear.
Would you guys let's have a quick vote.
Let's go, Lorelai. Yes.
Cammy, here are the choices. Just we're gonna ask for one or two. So one would be a Lorelai fun fact, and second would be or a Lorelai unblinded after dark fun fact. So 2 is after dark, 1 is regular. Cammy, which way are you going? 1 or 2?
2.
All right. Carlos, what do you got?
After dark.
All right. 2.
Oh my God.
Let's go. David, what do you got?
After dark.
3. Bob, what do you got?
Gotta be 2. Come on, after dark.
Oh my God.
Joseph, is it unanimous?
Of course it is.
It is unanimous. Yes.
Yes.
Lorelai, unblinded after
Lorelai.
dark.
I mean,
Okay.
look at the stress even thinking about it.
Yes. Come on, Lorelai.
I'm not going to tell the after dark fun fact that I told you at the restaurant.
Oh, come on now.
What are you testing it before you intrude?
That sounds like the only good one you should share.
Lorelai.
All right. So what do you got, Lorelai?
Oh dear. Okay, let it all rip. So when I was on The Real Housewives of Orange County, one of the places that I went and they showcased was the Playboy Mansion. And it was Midsummer Night's Dream Party, wanted after dark. I'm giving it to.
Mansion.
So anyway, they were filming me at my house getting ready, and they filmed me out the door with myself and my friend running through the neighborhood trying to hide because we're in our lingerie. And I happened to be there with Tony Robbins' friend, who's my friend as well, Dr. Garth Fisher. And it was a very interesting experience, but that's all I can really tell from After Dark. How do you like that?
Lorelai racing through the streets of California in her lingerie, being filmed, going to the Playboy Mansion. Lorelai, after dark. Thank you very much. Outstanding.
Thanks. Really,
That's that, Lorelai.
Sean, I think what we want is video from the, at the party is really what.
Yes, we will. When you come to Unblinded Real Raw, what is Real Raw? I'm sorry. What is Unblinded? Why Real Raw? ... After dark, we will have Lorelai's video footage. So
Yes.
Gina, that is not true. I made that up completely. That is not at all true, and there's no such thing. So ready, Gina? What do you got?
That is it. We are ready to roll, Sean. And
Well, what is this show? Like, what is this place?
what? Oh my goodness! I'm sorry. The dog, the wind, my network. I'm all discombobulated. So this is where we unpack influence as a superpower.
Hold on, I gotta say something. Are you ready for this? Gina,
Yes.
did you ever sell anything in your life before like a year ago?
Did I ever sell anything? Like maybe some shirts on, getting rid of selling old stuff. Maybe yes, a little bit.
And so here's Gina's fun fact. This week, Gina created an inbound call from a nearly $1 billion law firm to Unblinded. That's what Gina did. No paid advertising, no nothing. That lady, Gina, who had never had sales experience before, that is the magic of the superpower of influence. And that is what we're unpacking here. Gina Ricci, do I exaggerate?
No, you do not. You do not.
Yes. And
It's
then the other fun
extraordinary.
fact is in our unblinded call last night, Gina was MFing like the world and throwing stuff. It was totally crazy and insane. And there was like more than 100 people cheering for her and screaming. Yes, Gina, that was your fun fact for today. So love you and thank you for being here. And I appreciate you a super bunch.
Love you. Thank you. Have fun, everyone.
Have fun.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. So we got Cammy and Carlos ready to go. We know their avatars. Lorelai, you're picking it. Who's going first?
I'm going to choose Cammy.
All right, Cammy, Lorelai has thrown you under the proverbial bus. Are you ready to go first?
Yes, I understand there's 3 minutes of building rapport and then 3 more minutes. Will we be given a timer in the middle?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so you'll get a nice pause and a break, and Lorelai will say she's got to take a quick phone call, and there'll be a timer on the screen as well.
Okay.
All right, Cammy, thank you. Let's just have some fun. Heart-centered, integrous influence. Take us in.
Hi, Lorelai. Thank you for taking this Zoom with me. It's a pleasure. I'm so glad that Lori introduced us. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you as well.
Awesome. Well, the reason why we're getting on this call is she tells me that you're really, really heart-centered, that you have a soft spot for children specifically, and that you're wanting to grow your real estate company. Tell me a little bit about your history with wanting to do something for the kids.
Oh, I love this question. And the fact that you are asking me this means you're very heart-centered as well and want to serve. Well, my area with helping children would be, I do now actually would like to be more involved, but I do help children who have experienced childhood trauma due to abuse and neglect. And that is very dear to my heart because I was one of those kids who experienced trauma. And I feel like it's my mission and purpose now. It's so funny that we've connected. That's amazing.
Well, about a year, 14 months ago, I stumbled across the craziest secret real estate niche that's funding nonprofits by the billions. And as I get out and talk to a lot of people about this, I only am introduced to heart-centered people who want to make a difference and make money at the same time. Business is business. But I always find that when people are, whether they love veterans or they want to help kids in sports or, animals, whatever it is, there's always a story behind that. So thank you for sharing that with me. Are there any specific children nonprofits that you like to get behind?
Yes. I like to get behind Steven Tyler's Janie's Fund. That's one of my big choices. Yes. And then I love, we have something in my area called Orangewood, which helps teens who are struggling and kind of disconnected as well.
Thank you for sharing that. What are the ways that that they typically fundraise? I'm sure you help with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, a lot of the time, leaders in the community, such they could be attorneys, people on different boards like Chalk Hospital, they pull together and create black tie events. That's a really fabulous way to create awareness and donations and funding.
Well, I'll bet that your black tie events, just like most people's, have either been canceled or not very well attended with the pandemic going on. And that's why when I learned about this in March, I really went full bore learning about charitable real estate so that I could help people whose fundraising has fallen flat. Real estate's hot and fundraising is not.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'd love to speak more, but I have a call coming in. Can I give you a call back, please?
Sure.
I'll be right back. Thank you.
Excellent job, Cammy. How'd that feel for you?
Good. I'm ready to get to the next part.
All right, awesome job. And let's get to, first of all, Lorelai, how'd that feel for you? If you had like one word for the level of connection, what would it be?
Synergistic.
Nice, excellent. Great job, Cammy. Thank you, Lorelai. And Carlos, are you ready to step in, sir?
Sure.
Lorelai, you are a real estate mogul. And Carlos is ready, please.
Sure thing.
Hey, Carlos.
Hello, Lorelai. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call. How are you?
Oh, you're welcome. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good, good. So I understand that you're into real estate And I'd like to know a little bit more about your visions, a little bit more about you personally, and uh, what do you see in the future for you, and how are you managing through this pandemic?
Oh, well, thank you for asking that question. Um, Insofar as the pandemic is concerned, I have an outlook where I'm really finding phenomenal opportunities where maybe most people haven't been looking. I think it's a great opportunity to bring together family, to bring together friends, to create more relationships that are more intimate and heart-centered, and really look beyond, look beyond the noise and really come together in a heart-centered way. And I feel that having to pivot for some people is a really great opportunity for growth. So for me, I'm always looking at the positive aspect. And thank you for asking that.
Excellent, excellent. And I understand that you have various properties, residential properties. How are you managing those during these challenging times?
Uh, it's been it's been challenging for sure. I have a property in Cabo. It's actually the resort at Pedregal, and so there's some challenges with that. There was some issues, but some other properties there's been such a loss, to tell you the truth, because just a complete shutdown. So we don't have any, patrons or whatnot.
I know it's been challenging on the commercial end with everyone working from home and trying to still manage those properties. And how is that challenge going for you in those various properties that are commercial throughout the United States for you?
Yeah, it is. It's very challenging in many facets. But I wanted to find out from you some things as well before we continue, just so I can learn. Could you tell me a little bit more about what you do and as well?
Sure, CPA in New Jersey, and we've been in business close to 75 years, and we actually help real estate clients. We're actually embarking on that since we own our building with our client. We're also facing those challenges, and how do you keep it staffed, and how do you keep it housed, and how do you keep the rents coming in?
Oh, thank you. Actually, I have a call. May I call you back in a few minutes?
Absolutely. Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Nice work, Carlos. How'd that feel for you, man?
Business
How'd
as
that-
usual.
Yeah, no, good.
Yeah, it's what we commonly deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's our clients' anxieties, concerns, and how we help them through that.
No, awesome. Well, thank you, man. So let's hit the judges. Judges, we have 30 seconds for feedback. Lorelai will keep time integrity, and we don't want to see Lorelai bust out her, crazy Unblinded After Dark facts more. Anybody that goes over 30 seconds will never hear another Unblinded After Dark fact from Lorelai. I'm just kidding. So Lorelai, you're going to maintain time integrity. Yes. And so let us start with David. David, 30 seconds of feedback, please. First for Cammy, 15 seconds on what worked, 15 seconds on what could be optimized, and then a score on a scale 1 to 10. David, please.
So Cammy right off the bat had immediate rapport because of they had shared emotionality on their causes, which was very impactful, and that would create rapport right away. So I would give Cammy, out of a 10, I'd give her an 8.9.
Beautiful. And David, what'd you have for Carlos?
Carlos was creating rapport in a little different way. He basically tied in Lorelai's passion for real estate and how he could help. The only, I wouldn't say criticism, is that he needed to build a little bit more rapport, in my opinion. So, but I would give Carlos out of 10, I would give him an 8.1.
Excellent job. Thank you, sir. Let's go, Joseph. Joseph, what did you have for Cammy?
Yeah, so right off the bat, I think that Cammy definitely knows how to connect with people really, really quickly. You could feel that connection almost instantaneously. Yes. It was very interesting and kind of enlightening to watch somebody to be able to just kind of flip that switch and be so synergistic, as you said, with that. And that was really fascinating. I'd actually give her, a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, because I felt like that energy was there. And I really feel like that second half of that call is going to go exactly the way she wants it to go.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And what you have for Carlos? Actually, before we do that, what is your favorite Dungeons and Dragons character?
Well, so my favorite Dungeons and Dragons class would be Wizard, and my favorite Dungeons and Dragons race would be probably Tiefling.
What was that one?
Tiefling. Tiefling is a half demon. So they're half human, half demon.
Very nice. Excellent. And for Carlos, is Carlos like a half demon, or he's like all good?
Oh no, he's a full human. There's he's a CPA. He's what you would call the standard NPC at the bank that you would work with, and he'd make sure that all of your coins are accurate when you do your transaction.
Do you think Lorelai's a half demon?
No, I think Lorelai is actually an Azamar, which is a half angel.
Whoa, Lorelai!
She's an absolutely beautiful human being.
Yes.
Like charisma 20, which is the max score that you can get, definitely.
Ooh, look at that, Lorelai.
Yeah, well, it's what I'm good at. So Carlos had a more like business raw approach to it. Like he was very factual, but the connection between him and the client, I didn't really feel the connection between them. I felt like these are the facts. This is what I can offer you. And I'm going to connect with you, but I'm going to connect with you on things that are more surface level instead of more on a deep level. You got into the pandemic aspect of it, but I didn't really feel like a personable level of communication. So I would say, roughly 7.9.
Nice. Excellent job. Thank you for that. Bob, my brother from another island, what did you have for Cammy, sir?
Yeah, I agree. Cammy had an instant connection. I mean, one of the things that you learn when you're engaging people is you got to build rapport, and she did that on an emotional level, right? People don't care about what you know until they know how much you care, and I think she, went into that almost immediately. And the way you can see that is the way Lorelai was like, oh, this is it resonated, right? Like you could feel that, and when you can feel something, that's top notch. So I definitely give, probably a 9.5 as well. I mean, really little to criticize.
Awesome. Thank you, Bob. Excellent. And for Carlos?
Carlos, just like Joseph had indicated, I mean, he came in good. I like the fact that he used the pandemic and sort of wanted to engage on that level. He needed probably to go a little deeper into that just to get if you had indicated why she was so interested in real estate and what, how the pandemic has affected her and the challenges behind that, then it would give you the ability to ask, hey, listen, based on what the challenges are, it sounds like you've had with the pandemic, maybe there's some ways we can help you. And then you could have rolled over into the next part.
And your score is?
8, probably 7.5.
Nice. Thank you, Bob. Excellent job. Bob, Joseph, David, thank you. Cammy, Carlos, we're ready for round 2. Lorelai, are you set?
I'm set and ready.
All right, I'm going to switch it up. Carlos, Lorelai, the real estate mogul, is back, and she's ready to hear about your amazingness. Please, Lorelai, ring, ring, boom.
Hi, Carlos. Thanks for waiting for me.
Oh, no worries, Lorelai, no worries. Thank you for taking my call again. And I just wanted to continue with our discussion with respect to where you currently are with the real estate and what concerns you currently, and what are your anxieties, and where can we step in to alleviate some of your concerns and anxieties and be of help and service to you?
Well, as you were touching on before, COVID is definitely a concern because we are still nowhere near out of where we are. So I do have concerns on different aspects of that, and really I have concerns for the people who I employ as well. So I'm of that heart-centered, but so that's some of the things generally.
Lorelai, have you been able to maintain your staff and keep them on payroll?
I just have anyway, because I can't, many of these people, they just depend on it. So that has been pretty tricky for me. But
that's very admirable. It's a very challenging time, and I admire you for keeping the people intact and working. That is certainly shows the character of who you are. With respect to your properties, how do you see the properties profitability, and how do you see the rents coming in and the management of that in the future?
Mhm. That's a concern, especially for, yeah, I mean, with my rental properties, I definitely have a lot of issues with individuals not being able to pay the rent, and with the moratorium in some of the areas such as California, that has been a very big concern for me, and different implementations that Biden has put into place with respect to that as well.
I would love to set up a meeting with you and discuss some ideas. We represent clients that are in the real estate business. They share a lot of thoughts with us, and I'd love to meet with you for an hour or so and discuss those ideas with you, and hopefully we can help you manage and navigate through these challenging times. If that's acceptable to you, we can coordinate a time, and I'd love to meet you in person.
I would be open to that, yes.
Thank you so much. I will certainly reach out to you and coordinate that.
All right. Carlos, excellent work, sir. How'd that feel for you?
Very good. Very good.
Nice. All right. We'll come back in a minute. Cammy, are you ready?
Ready, Cammy? Can we hear you?
Yes, please.
No. Oh, there we go. Hi, Cammy. Thank you so much for waiting for me. Appreciate it.
Oh, Lorelai, I know how in demand your time is. And, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get in touch with you. These fundraisers being canceled or not very well attended is really putting a damper on all of the nonprofits. And, with your real estate company wanting to attract really high net worth clients and a high caliber of real estate agent, I mean, we could talk about ways to have real estate donated. The average amount of a donation from real estate is $550,000. That's way better than a bake sale or a barbecue or a ballroom function for you and the kids, right?
That is very true. Sounds like it.
And I love how we can pull together your CPA friends, your financial advisor friends, your mortgage friends. The whole community comes together. So charitable real estate, what we do is we actually remove the risk for any of the nonprofits. I've partnered with a 501c3 whose sole reason for existing is to accept donations of real estate and partner with all of the 1.3 million nonprofits, starting with yours for the children, especially when you bring in all of the sports figures and all of the artists that Janie's Place and all that. We could actually bring in $10 million rather quickly. And the beauty of it is there's no fundraiser involved. How does that sound?
It sounds intriguing.
Awesome. Well, what we do is we typically just have a conversation with you and any of your marketing people, any of your recruiting team, any of your fundraising friends, anyone that you think would really like to hear how our goal is to have $1 billion of real estate donated to nonprofits worldwide by 2025, just through our group. And actually in 2019, there was $8 billion already donated just in that 1 year. And I know with your contacts, we can actually get this up to $1 billion a year. So how about we just get together, have a little girl chat, find out exactly who you'd like to have in that first conversation and get some money to those kids and all the other nonprofits that need it.
Wonderful. It sounds amazing. I really love that.
I'd love to help you and the children. Let's get that set up.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
I don't know if we're
Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
All right. So Sean.
Good job, Cammy.
Sean thought there was 30 seconds left, so
No. It was all good. Yes. So Cammy, outstanding job. Heard the entire thing. $1 billion in real estate. Extraordinary. And just Cammy, a quick thought. The $8 billion that you mentioned, like where does that come from? What is that?
There are several different people like Dr. Russell James who have lots of statistics around all of what I'm talking about. The 8 billion comes from donations of real estate, and typically about half of that comes through 3 nonprofits only out of the 1.3 million. So it's a very, very secret niche
Yeah.
in real estate. And what we're doing is we're certifying real estate agents to understand how this works, and we pay them a full commission. By the way, Lorelei, your agents will get a full commission as they're helping to fund these nonprofits.
Well, there's a lot to talk about here, Cammy. That's an extraordinary job. Thank you very, very much. Quick question, Carlos. Would you do me the honor of allowing me to role play as you for a quick 3-minute segment?
Love it. Love it.
Awesome. And would it be cool if you were also perhaps a real estate mogul named Joe? Sound good?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. All right, so hey Joe, thanks so much for the call. I know we only have about 3 minutes on this Friday, but can I ask you? Heard a lot of great things about you. I know you've built a really nice real estate empire, if you will. How's everything going for you during COVID? I know things have been crazy, and certain people have fared well. Other people have been challenged. Like, how are things going for you?
Well, certainly on the residential end, very good. On the commercial end, very challenging. A lot of office space available. And the big decision of the day is whether they're to continue with the certain properties or sell them. So that's what I am engaging you in to discuss.
Yeah. And can I ask this? So, like, the vision of all this, I've heard that you are second generation in the space of real estate. What is all here for you? Like the vision of it ultimately, because that would really help me just like get a framework of who you are and why you're doing what you do.
My vision is to create a real estate empire and pass that on to the second, hopefully third and fourth generations, so that the name on the jersey on my back continues as my grandfather started this sometime back.
Wow. Well, that's extraordinary. I'm hearing like family legacy, love. And can I ask just real quick, I know about a minute to go, do you have children right now?
I do, 2 children,
And how old are they?
20 and 23. I'm hoping to get them into the business, create transition, and again, create a legacy so that the last name can continue in the real estate empire.
Yeah. So can I am present to legacy and destiny. In this final 45 seconds or so, can I share a quick something?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, my name is Carlos. And as you know, I'm a CPA in the state of New Jersey. And the work that we do isn't boring. It's like not boring. The work that we do is designed to help you create the things you want. We first see our clients as people that we're co-creating business strategy with. We're confronting some of their limiting beliefs around running, building, growing, all the things that they do. Numbers come second, that comes first, but the numbers matter. And we start stepping to the numbers and strategy of buying, selling, moving. We consider holistically you and your entire family. Like, sounds like perhaps like just words, but we have clients that you can meet, clients you can work with in the space of real estate. And that's one of the other priorities. Is a third dynamic that we bring to the party is we want to create relationships, not only between yourself, your family, and our firm, but also our clients. This one massive ecosystem to create acceleration for you. And that's a little bit about us. How does it resonate for you, Joe, to have about a 3-minute conversation? I'm sorry, about a 30-minute conversation to dive a little more deeply into like what it is that you're up to and you want for your family and its legacy.
I love it. I'd like to hear more about it.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right. So out of role, Carlos, how did that feel for you?
It's easier to be on the client side. You know what? I'd like to switch.
Yeah.
I love the switch.
Yeah, right.
No,
How did that
listen, it's absolutely, it's, we've done it many times, not so much in 3 minutes. So this is really great because this really grills down on turning the microphone to not just our clients, but anybody in terms of what is it that makes them tick, what's their visions and their goals, and let them speak.
Awesome, brother. I really appreciate that very much. And I'm pretty sure what I shared is who you are. Is that fair?
That pretty much sums it up. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Right, I want to make sure I was hearing you correctly. So great. So thank you for that. Lorelei, how was that for you?
Was amazing. I always love seeing the magic that you bring and how effortless it is. But this is all teachable, and that's what you teach us here.
Yeah. Well, listen, it is all duplicatable, learnable, reproducible, acceleratable, all of it. So let's go reverse order this time. And let's start with the one and only Bob. Again, thank you for being here, brother. And what do you have for our fine contestants? Start with either one, please, for 30 seconds.
I'll start with Carlos. I think it was a really nice recovery. First of all, he went into what's challenging, right? Like he wanted to bring that out. And then he talked about how he could serve. So he asked really good questions to engage that, which was much different from the first part. And then he complimented it as well. And then he said, I would love, which love is an extremely powerful word, to get together and sort of finish that. The only caveat is I would use a tie-in with the challenges to bring it in so that you could say, listen, based on what you've indicated, the challenges in the commercial part, let's get together because we can show you some value in that.
And your score is?
What was that? Oh, score would be, that one was like at least an 8. It was good.
Nice. And how about for Cammy, Bob?
Cammy, she is really smooth. Obviously, she's done this 1,000 times and has got such a clear, concise messaging, and she does it with passion. The only slight changes I would have made is like when you talked about the barbecue and sort of that whole thing, you were a little bit more open-ended about it. And I would just say, you'd agree, yes. Like I'd actually say the yes at the end with a question mark. And then when I said, how about we get together? It was more open-ended again. I would go, when would be great, or when would best be to meet with you? Would it be Monday at 2:00 or Friday at 5:00 for 30 minutes?
Score is?
She was a 9. She was just
nice. Excellent, Bob. And again, Bob, great feedback. Awesome job, my friend. Thank you for being here. And how was your day today on the Real Raw?
Awesome. I loved it.
Well, very cool. Thank you for being here, man. So let's go, David. What do you got, my friend?
So yes, I agree with Bob that Carlos had a very nice recovery the second time around.
5 seconds.
And I would say that he asked more rapport building questions the second time around. Not a criticism. The one thing when Lorelei was talking about her struggles in her business, I would have jumped in if I could to say, I have clients just like you, and then give specifics, because specifics are what Lorelei wants to see in her situation with what you can do to bring value to her.
And your score is?
And I would give you, I give you an 8.6, recovered from it from a 7.9.
Nice. And how about for Cammy?
Cammy built on her tremendous rapport from the beginning and then tied it into some very nice macro ideas about the industry that she has a very secret niche in that Lorelei would definitely be very intrigued to know much more about, because the numbers, even to me, actually boggle my mind, and I'm sure boggle Lorelei's mind. And that was impressive to me. And on a score, she was 8.9 before, I'd go up to a 9.2.
Nice. Well, thanks so much for that, David. And your day today, Real Raw, how was it?
Tremendous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joseph, what do you got, my friend?
Yeah, so we'll start off with Carlos. I think the recovery on the second portion was phenomenal. I think you did a really good job on recovering and kind of reconnecting with your client and kind of drilling in some of the finer points. I still do feel a little bit like, and maybe it's because of the time constraint, that there was opportunities to really connect with the client that weren't quite grasped, but I do think that there was a better connection the second time around. I'm not a salesperson. I'm just looking at this as a person that is watching two people communicate. But I would definitely raise your score as well to, 8.9.
Excellent. And thank you for that, Joseph. What'd you have, please, for Cammy?
So Cammy has obviously done this many, many, many times. You can tell that she is just so fluid and seamless with this, and in the connection portion of this. She connects very easily. She got to the point of what she wanted to say. I kind of agree and disagree with the open-endedness. I like when people are more open-ended and less direct, because that gives me as a client the opportunity to make the decision on my own without somebody deciding for me. But that's me personally. And I liked that. I really enjoyed it. So I would have given her 10.
Wow, boom, 10. 10 on the Real Raw. So we'll come back to that in a second. Thank you so much, Joseph, for being here. And if somebody was like, I don't know, like, what is that Real Raw thing? Should I go on or not? What would you say to them?
Do it. Even though it's terrifying, do it.
What was terrifying for you? Thanks for being here. Awesome job. Excellent job, Carlos. How was your day today on the Real Raw? Truly appreciated you being here and getting to know you.
Thank you very much for having me attend. I thought this was very, very intriguing. I certainly want to thank the judges for their honest feedback. Certainly terrifying. No, this is not terrifying, Sean. Terrifying is getting on a mat in front of 500 people in a singlet. That's terrifying. This was enjoyable. And I got to say, Cammy, just phenomenal. There's no question about it. She's done this many times. I was up against a pro, but I loved the challenge. And certainly I took away a lot of great feedback from this. Sean, thank you for switching that up. Made my afternoon a little easier in that next 3 minutes. And I appreciate the opportunity of being on Real Raw.
Oh, thank you, man.
Would any of us expect any less from Cammy, the hula hoop dancing on top of our paper?
I don't think so. So Cammy, we have done approaching 500 Real Raws in total. We have like TED and TEDx. You're on the Real Raw. We have Real Raw Opens. And I would say, without a doubt, that we've had Les Brown on, Brad Sugars on, Joseph McClendon, Chris Crone, folks from the world of TV attorneys, TV accountants, extraordinary people. Your performance today was one of the top 10 most extraordinary out of 2,000 plus people we've had on. So I just want to acknowledge you. Thank you for being here, and you did a tremendous job.
And she finished early.
I'm sorry?
And she finished early. That's how concise and clear and engaged she was.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So great job, Cammy. Lorelei, final, my friend.
Thank you guys for all coming on. Your shares were really fantastic. And we have something on Monday nights at 7 o'clock for everyone, which is called What is Unblinded? Why the Real Raw, 7 o'clock Eastern. And this weekend, we are having an incredible influence off in Clubhouse that you have to attend, and the times are, Sean.
Yeah, we have different ones if you guys are up for it. We have one at 11 a.m., 3 p.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and we are giving away one of our programs, like a $1,000 value, one of our entry-level programs. And that's not why to go in it, though. To meet extraordinary people, and I think Clubhouse has become a time-sucking vortex of insanity for a lot of people. And it is yet with an understanding of how to leverage it effectively time-wise, which I am very confident we are doing this weekend. It becomes an extraordinary platform to create amazing leverage as a tremendous alternative to doing any business on Facebook, as Facebook has completely changed its reach and is a simply pay-to-play platform. Clubhouse is more than Facebook ever was. And by the way, I have no share in Clubhouse. I am just clear on its incredible leverage, the amazing ability to either A, destroy your business and life on it, or B, leverage it as an unbelievable platform with amazing tools and utilization. So we've been all over it for a couple of weeks, dissecting what the entire Unblinded ecosystem. So we're gonna have some fun this weekend, improve our influence, meet incredible people. But I think most importantly is understand what you can do on Clubhouse to create leverage and relationship rapidly to accelerate your marketing. So that's what we're doing.
Sean, do you think
Yes.
there's going to be a Clubhouse Anonymous?
Yes, I am very confident there's going to be Clubhouse Anonymous, and I know at least 10 people that I have been like imploring to please get off of Clubhouse and stop spending that much time. It's completely crazy, but it is an extraordinary tool, though. When one understands how to create all business is created on relationship. All relationships are created through shared experience. We just had one. When you create the most efficient money, time, and energy shared experiences to generate new, leverageable, duplicatable, integrous relationships, now we're talking. And that's the beginning of what to do. That's what we teach in Shared Unblinded. It's how I have the unique privilege of building a 125-person law firm, speaking on stages around the world, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's what it's all about. We thank you guys for being here on Fun Friday. If this is the end, remember, influence is a superpower and the road integrously to all the money, time, and magic you could ever want. But hopefully this is just the beginning. And Lorelei, we are all blind.
And just learning to see.
All right. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.